as my dad would say, would you like me to sew them back on? I could sew just one on. Would you? And he always goes like this. Would you like me to sew it back on?
Did your dad have an accent like that?
Yeah, my dad's from Glasgow. My parents are from Glasgow.
Really? I had no idea. And so you grew up, you never lived there though. You were always here. We would summer.
Sometimes they would pawn me off on my gran and I'd have to spend the whole fucking summer there, which sucked because it's a shit.
It doesn't say that. You're a liar.
I'm not lying, Dad. I was born in England. We moved to Canada when I was 5, and then I moved to New York in my late 20s.
Isn't Glasgow like the stabbing capital of the planet? Isn't that like shaking hands there?
It's Newark, New Jersey. The Glasgow smile is when they cut your face here. So I remember seeing the Joker, and like in the scary part of the movie, Heath Ledger is like, and then my dad decided to cut my mouth because I wasn't smiling enough. And the music's all like, whoa, scary. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bad Friday night in Glasgow. What, now you're a supervillain? Fuck you, pussy.
We had a guest who was telling us about that. He said that when people in the know see that smile, they identify that person like as a rat, like it's a scarlet letter.
Oh, really?
That's what he said.
I don't think that's the case in Glasgow, but maybe in the States. You know what they would do in Glasgow? They'd cut your face with a carpet cutter, but they put a match. They put 2 blades in the carpet cutter, and they'd put a match between the 2 blades. So when they slice your face, it's really hard to stitch up because there's a piece of spaghetti hanging down that you can't seal. So you end up with
that's diabolical.
That's so sinister.
I'm confused. A match? Like a matchstick?
They put 2 blades in, so now there's 2. But to make them split apart, they put a match in there. So now they've got these 2 terrible cuts side by side, and the skin in the middle makes it very difficult to stitch because they have no way to like grab that. So now they just got to remove it and make a big gash that they fill in.
Thank you. I got too hung up on the match part as a like. How is that a weapon? I'm very confused.
Match.
Fucking diabolical. I hate that. I'd rather deal with this.
When I would go there as a kid, the little kids would go, "What team do you support?"
What'd you say?
If you support Rangers and they're a Celtics fan, they'll kill you. And if you support Celtics and you're a Rangers fan, you'll kill you. Like, you don't wear blue in the areas where there's Celtic fans because that's green. My cousin got bottled from a bus. A bus of Celtics fans were driving by, and he was wearing a blue shirt. He wasn't even a Rangers fan. But they're like, no, not today. Fucking bottle. So I said, Dad, I don't enjoy the whole. I would speak with a Scottish accent down there just to sort of blend in.
Yeah, when in Rome.
What do I say? What team do you support? How do I know I'm with the right side? And he goes, just say Partick Thistle. They're a shit team, and people will say you're mad.
So now you just say you're a Thistle fan?
Go, what team do you support? And I go, Partick Thistle. And then they would laugh and go, you're a fucking bombpot, which means a lunatic.
What is that word?
It was like a force field.
A bampot?
Bampot means lunatic. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the best accents ever. Reminds me of Shrek.
That's good advice.
I like it. I was like, I was like, what do I do if I'm in that situation? I don't even watch sports ball.
You'd have to have an answer. You couldn't make fun of soccer to them. They would hate that.
But
no way. You'll get killed either way. I mean, that's the only thing you can say to not die. Although I did remember in the early 80s, Bruce Lee caught on over there and Kung Fu and all the movies. And so I go there one summer and they're like, do you know Kung Fu? And I'm like, yeah. I'm only allowed to use it in self-defense. My sensei said that I could only use it if I'm attacked, but I obviously could kill everyone in this room right now. All right, pal. And no one fucked with me for like 3 years when Kung Fu. They'd hear an American accent and just assume you were a ninja.
Oh, that's
and then that faded away and it was back to violence.
Yeah, there was a whole wave of movies in the 80s, like American Ninja, this, that, and the other. They were all different colors. There was a ninja mania.
It was crazy. And I look at people taking Kung Fu lessons. Like, you know, they always have a big glass wall so you can see in. And I'm just like, this is gay.
Yeah, you're going to be tough at the mall.
It's absolutely gay. These guys have heard this story.
Like this? What are you going to do? Chop me in half with your
stupid
hands?
They will literally tell you you're not punching right if they fail to block it. That's how Kung Fu training goes. I told these guys a story, but quickly for you. I was at work some guy was giving out lessons that you could like win in a raffle. I forget how I won the kung fu lessons, but I did win, and I went to them and took kung fu for, I don't know, 6 months. And it is stupid and it doesn't work, but I had fun.
We call him sensei when you're not here.
It's just you're learning like woo fu kung fu, that like Wong Fei Hung stuff with.
It's stupid. The move that caught my mind was this. He's like, if someone puts their hand on your chest, then you grab their fingers and you pull them apart, right? You take them, spread them super wide. And I'm like, no one is ever going to gift me their hand like that. Whoever puts their hand on their opponent's chest, fingers spread, palm down, that's not a thing. It's all make believe.
Absolutely separate your fingers if you put your hand on my chest in slow motion and go. Alrighty, so we got this one. Like you grab here and then you twist it and then you apply pressure. Yeah, a fight happens in a nanosecond and you're just like, ah!
Yeah. It's the same as those. You see the gun disarming guys on Twitter. And they can disarm anyone with a gun if the person with the gun is slow and participating in the exercise.
Exactly.
But like other than that, like if someone's holding me at gunpoint, there's no way they're holding the gun here in my. Like if I'm holding Woody at gunpoint, do I walk up like it's a movie and like poke you in the chest with the gun and be like, "Yeah, Steve, you don't have a chance of taking this from me now." Like, no, I would shoot you.
Kyle,
so that wouldn't work. I was at a machine gun shoot, and there was a guy there who was demonstrating that technique. I don't remember what his fucking background was, but I guess the idea, first Huckster. Of all, yeah, probably Huckster. He was a military man though. And if you're just trying to hold him at gunpoint and your goal isn't to shoot him, like I'm taking a prisoner, and he did what he did to me, then he would have taken the gun away. The problem was I have to stand right in front of him and him be like, all right, when I move, you pull the trigger. And in that instance, he could get he moved. Then he reached in, at the same time, he was moving his head off center and his body off center, swiping the gun away, and also like hitting the inside of my wrist with like a karate chop. And it sort of hit the tendons and made this involuntary reaction where I let the gun go. Mm-hmm. And he had my gun. And I was like, well, I'd have shot you before like we got to all that. I don't think I'd have walked within reaching distance of you if we're, having a gunfight or something, or you're the bad man I'm catching. Yeah. But still, he could have taken the gun away from me, and that he did. He took it away from me because I wasn't intending to shoot him, I guess.
I got a question.
What's real? Boxing, jiu-jitsu,
wrestling,
Muay Thai,
kickboxing, MMA. Like there's only 4 that you could actually use in the real world. The rest are just dance.
Oh, Krav Maga.
A lot of them.
Have you ever watched a Krav Maga video? It's so funny. It's like what you do is like you like tear their eyes out. You like rip their body. It's like chimp style. You fight like a chimp would, where you rip fingers off, nails, biting, eye gouging.
The problem with those fighting styles that have like various death touches is you can't train them. Like, you're gonna pull my eyeball out in a real fight? It is the first time you've ever tried this.
That's fair.
I've had a pig head delivered every week, and at this point, can really pluck one out. I mean, why would you want to pluck someone's eye out? Can't you just beat them up? Can you choke them out or punch them in the head? I don't want to pull somebody's fucking eyeball out.
I don't either. I think that's big talk to make people afraid of Krav Maga.
Well, it depends. Like if someone breaks into your house and your wife and kids are there, you're going to bite his penis off and like stick your thumbs into his eyes and everything. But
I'd lure him in with the blowjob and then bite it right off.
And you're like 4 minutes in. You're like, he's never going to suspect it now because he's getting.
No, it needs to be hard before I can really get a bite. It needs to be hard, rock hard before I can bite it good.
Yeah, ensure the blood flow.
You know what you do? You bite his dick off. You bite his dick off, then you swallow it, and you say, "Get the fuck out of my house. If you leave my house, I will make myself vomit. You can get your dick back."
Oh, but how are you going to say all that with your mouth so full?
You swallowed it.
Okay. Goes outside, and then you lock the door behind you. Like, okay.
That's actually a good idea for a movie. I remember the Lorena.
A whole
Bobbitt
movie, huh?
Well,
had a sequel.
See, I would expand upon that. Like, remember the Lorena Bobbitt story? The lady whose husband was forced himself on her, and then she cut his dick off in his sleep, and then drove away with it. I don't know how. That was the deal, yeah. And then she drove away with the penis and threw it out the car window. And I was just thinking, like, what if, like, the movie was about you snuck in and like drugged the guy and took his penis off surgically. And then when he woke up, like, if you want your penis back, you've got to go rob this bank. I want to see that movie.
But don't you have a matter of
anything for
your dick like doesn't work? Well, isn't there a very short time where you can get the dick back on? Like with
it's on ice. It's on ice.
Yeah.
Some cop found the dick. So she threw it into a field. This cop drove around later and he's like, I got a hunch. And he walked up, found it.
Yep.
And then they brought it to the hospital. He did a porn after. He made a little mushroom kind of a dick. It's nothing to write home about, but it
better than nothing.
And you know what she got for that? 30 days in a loony bin.
Yeah.
That's not long enough. She seems like pretty loony.
It's attempted murder.
Her testimony was compelling.
Well, it is attempted murder, yeah.
Well, and he was a rapist. But it's not self-defense. There's
no evidence. She claims she was in an abusive relationship, and they went, "I believe you."
So the person that abused him physically says he was abusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Gavin's making a good point here. The fact that cop found that cock on the side of the road. Imagine, Taylor, if I told you, "Hey, Taylor, I threw an Oscar Mayer wiener out my window while I was driving down the road. I was about 1.5 miles past the quick stop. If you went and looked for that weenie, the ants would have eaten it days ago. Like some sort of wildlife would have carried it off. You would never find my dick, especially not mine.
Find your ants covered penis and bring it back to you.
I can throw your dick. I can throw your dick in the room behind you and send you on a scavenger hunt that would leave you scratching your head.
If you threw my dick out a window, the cops would be able to find it because all the neighbors would be calling about this escaped Burmese python that in a field nearby, and they're worried about it consuming 300-pound men.
It's bloody and it has sores all over it. That would be horrible. What's the worst way to wake up? Dickless.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sad. Oh, I got one. I heard about a wife. She found out that her husband had been the stepchildren, and so she woke him up with a boiling bucket of sugar water.
Yeah, so like napalm.
She poured molten sugar water on him in the bed while he was asleep. It's something they do in prison. I can't remember what they call it.
Did he die?
I don't know if he died, but he wished he had afterwards because it's going to stick and do awful things. In prison, they microwave jams and jellies, and they throw that in your face.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they get really.
You shouldn't give you guys microwaves.
We need microwaves. We're human fucking beings, dude. That microwave was a godsend.
You killed him. There we go. So mission accomplished.
She got a kill out of it. I wonder what she got. Hopefully at least 60 days.
Yeah, 60 days of for being naughty. But if that guy was her kids, I think that's all fair.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed a key.
Yeah, so that's it seems like she rid the world of a problem there. Maybe they should give her key to the city.
There's a great interview.
Giving her nothing.
There was a father who caught this guy, his son, and hit the interview with him. He's like, I started beating him viciously, and I didn't stop, even though he begged me to stop. And I decided I was going to take his life. And my son said, no, Poppy, don't kill him. And that's the only reason I didn't kill him on my floor. And he's on the news, like Channel 7, saying this shit. It was so good. The best.
What state was it? Do you know?
Viciously. And they show the pictures of the molester guy. He's just looks like a UFC post fighter. It's I don't remember what state. I just remember child molester.
You know who I talk to sometimes? You know the case in the 80s where the dad was waiting at the airport for the molester?
Yeah.
Kung fu teacher.
Yes.
He took the kid around the country to kung fu things and was blowing him on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad he's got a baseball hat on. It became a huge meme. And he's just like, just goes up, blows his head off.
Under his arm.
Yeah. He's like, why, Gary? Why?
Yeah, that's it. And you can tell that the news people were alerted to this. I mean, they probably told him too that the guy's going to be there at this time. And I just love how the courts and the jury were like, well, technically that's illegal, but you go out the back door.
I like it when that happens. Like
Yeah.
when a guy's kid is hurt and the dad takes justice into his own hands. It's not that uncommon for courts to just be like, yeah, justice was done here.
That's such an impressive shot. He brings his right arm up. The left hand's fake holding a phone at a pay booth, obviously, and the right arm comes up under the armpit, and so he fires point fire, no aiming, like this, but more under the armpit, and hits him in the side of the fucking head, moving 8 feet, 10 feet away. No other bystanders are injured. Like the angle is perfect. It's crazy that he hit that shot. I bet he's been practicing this shit all week.
He went to the fucking Kyle Rittenhouse school.
He went to the range.